It is hard to overstate the breathtaking nature of the landscape in front of you. This is the mountainscape of a dream, where the peaks of these rocky tops plunge downwards into a crystalline blue sky beneath your feet. Above you, a faded, cloudy grey abyss. And all around, you see the hordes, the flocks of gracefully moving, dancing, undulating blue mamu as they soar through the sky and scuttle along the rocks. Before I describe this scene in front of you in a little more detail, could you please roll for me a perception check and an investigation, and I will now roll a d4.
Alright. Perception will be 18. Investigation is going to be a 7.
The scene in front of you is so vast, so far stretching that it is indeed difficult to pass and discern the individual details. Something that catches your eye in a glimmer, almost immediately though, is this sparkling orange glow far down in the, what I might describe as a valley below you. It seems as if it may be coming from some sort of campfire. And it is so poignant to your vision, as it is vastly contrasting in warmth and colour to this, like I say, pale blue atmosphere around you. But otherwise, what you take in front of you is, as I say, this landscape of floating mountainous rocks that are separated by some space and fragmented boulders in between, such as that if you were to attempt to travel between them, you might have to dexterously hop from one to the other. Far, far below, at the bottom of the valley, you can see clearly is a large, engraved, what looks like a doorway. And from this vantage point and distance, you can only pass that there are fine details carved into this door. What those details are, you can't quite see, but the only poignant facet of that is a large triangle shape with 3 eyes in each of the corners of this triangle. So that is to say, 1 eye in each of the 3 corners of the triangle. Running through the center of this landscape is a rushing, floating river. It seems to have no bed. It floats independent of itself between the rocks. And it sparkles with a whiteness, with just a hint pale blue beneath it, It is reminiscent, you think to your mind, of that river you once plunged into long ago in the deserts of Shuatsuna when you traversed the strange iridescent jungle, snowy landscape in an attempt to find Kieran and ultimately meeting Tonto. On one side of this river, you can see effects of this inky black matter having reached this place. That familiar sight of an undulating, unsettling darkness seems to eat away at a portion of the river. And just as you are taking in this sight, directly in front of you, some 10 feet away, a clash of Mamu occur right in front of your face, from left and from right. Two flocks of Mamu seem to come together in what looks like almost like a murmuration of birds. And you can see that they are entangling in one another. They appear to be in some form of combat. If you look closely at these, it's not hard to discern that some are acting very erratically, and most certainly have those dark black eyes that you've seen many times before now in this Kingdom of Soprat. And some do not. And they appear to be in some sort of violent tumult in front of you, paying no attention to you whatever. And those Mamu that came down the shaft with you into this place immediately funnel away from you, swooping through the air to join this tumult. And this combined flock seem to plummet down into the sky below you. And you can peer over the floating rock that you stand on to watch them shoot into the downward sky as they continue to battle on. Tonto, you can feel, clutches tight to your leg. I think it's reached here as well. Yohm, they said it had, but I didn't know what that meant.
No, I didn't expect this. It's such a shame. But they're trying to fight it off. That's good.
Yes, at least there is still some Mamu who are unaffected.
That means we've still got hope as well, right?
Right.
Well, if they're doing their part, we've got to make sure we hold up our own as well then. We've got to find this Ludok and help him, ask him some questions, who knows, but finding him, that's step one.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure if you'll remember this, but this stream, that one flowing down there, it's I used something similar just before finding you. So I don't really know why, but something's telling me that's the way to go.
Okay. Let's head to the river.
Yeah, I'm just looking around this floating rock that I'm standing on. Can I just grab a loose bit of dirt from beneath my feet? Is it permeable and corporeal? Can I actually hold on to it?
As you reach down to attempt to do this, you see that it is matter, like you're able to pick it up. Although, like everything else, it's sort of layered in this iridescent film almost that makes it a little bit unreal. But yes, you can certainly pick it up.
I just take it and just a gentle underarm throw towards whichever next floating rock seems to be closest. Just trying to figure out what rules this place may follow.
As you throw this handful of debris towards the closest floating rock that sort of sits some way out in the gap between yourself and the nearest sort of large mass that you could possibly travel to, you see that the dirt ascends through the air as you might expect it to. Some of this sort of brittle rocks and pebbles scatter themselves across this stepping stone sort of hovering platform. Others ripple off and drop off the side, falling down into the sky. Strangely enough, you see that some of them float in the interim a little bit before dropping off again into the sky.
I'm getting there. Probably won't be too easy though. I think trying to find a route through these small islands might be the safest bet.
Okay. Do you want me to help?
We might need to in a moment. I don't want to burden you too early.
I see what you mean. Okay, well, anything you need, let me know.
Of course, these first few look quite simple, just I guess be prepared to catch me.
Always.
I'm guessing there's a few foot worth of runoff on most of these sort of platforms in the sky, enough to take a couple of steps and a jump.
The platform you're standing on certainly is quite wide and broad, I'd say at least 30 foot square. The platform that you might attempt to jump to in front of you is also fairly large but smaller, perhaps 10 feet in breadth. Though some of these platforms are small, you could say that some of them are only a few feet wide.
Do they mostly follow the path of this river, or is it chaos in where they lay?
It seems to be fairly arbitrary, and if you were to make a path, you'd have to be of your own choosing.
Well, yeah, I believe this is. He looks around one last time, taking it all in. Well, the only way forward I can see, so. What do you say? Hop on and be prepared to shift if you need to.
All right.
And then he sort of kicks the ground beneath him a little bit first, just really trying to feel it out and see how stable it's going to be. Does it twist or tilt at all as I approach the edges?
It feels fairly solid. There's no sense that the land that you're on right now is floating at all. It feels like solid rock.
And finally then, my leg in this place, does it feel as injured as before? Do I feel heavy and weak upon it?
You feel just about the same as you did before.
Just enough, eh? Well, we're going to take it one at a time and reassess as it goes. You ready?
I'm ready. And he hops in one floating leap to your shoulder and puts his arms around your neck.
Alright then. Let's go. And hop, skip and a jump. He'll take a gracious, hopefully, leap to the closest platform, trying to keep the similar bearings to the direction this stream is going in.
I'd like you to roll me an athletics check, please.
It's going to be an 11.
On an 11, as you, like you say, take that step backwards and that running jump over towards the next platform, as you move through the air to bridge that gap, there is this very slight sense of weightlessness to your movement as you do so. And as you ascend into the air, creating that arc and move downwards towards the rock, you could swear that where it wasn't before, this platform begins to sort of move slightly, almost rotating in a circle. You get this slight feeling of disorientation as you head towards the next rock. And quickly as you come down to the ground, you see you are just about falling short, when suddenly you find yourself at the edge, one arm over the platform, your legs dangling down towards the sky below you. Please roll me a strength check.
That's a 5.
You lose your grip and find yourself quickly plummeting towards the sky below you. You feel the wispy clouds rush past your face in those split seconds as you fall, when Tonto suddenly balloons in size, becoming spherical in nature and drawing you upwards gently lands you onto the platform you attempted to get to. And he flops to the ground in front of you and deflates back to normal size.
That was close, Yohm.
More so than I expected.
I know you don't want me to exert myself. It does take it out of me a little bit, but I think just until we get to the river, maybe I should help us.
Yeah, you might be right. We'll worry about getting back when we need to get back, eh?
Yes. For now, we move forward.
Yeah. Alright then, well. Alright. How'd you want me to be?
You just try your best to get across, and I'll do my best to keep you up.
And he hops immediately back onto your shoulders, but this time as he puts his arms around your neck, he balloons his whole body back out into that sort of spherical nature, almost as if you've got some kind of life jacket that now ensconces your neck and head, and you do feel yourself just ever so slightly lighter on your feet.
And this time I take just a few standing hops where I am, each time trying to just jump just straight up a little bit higher, getting myself a bit more used to this sensation. Alright, that feels a little better. You good?
I'm okay.
Alright then. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Jump into the air, soar over to the next platform. Please roll me an athletics check with advantage.
That'd be a 19.
With 19, you feel that increased sense of weightlessness now as you're hurtling towards the next platform. In a certain way, it almost feels like you're underwater as you're moving. And as you plummet back down to the next platform, with the aid of Tonto, you land nicely, softly onto it. This one slightly less wide, perhaps 5 feet in width. And you've got one more hop before you reach the next largest platform, which is closest to this river.
Alright. How am I? Better?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty good at keeping things light.
Yeah. This reminds me, actually, just after we met, you were playing with the houndbacks and sliding up and down a dune.
Yeah.
It's not really too dissimilar, just nearly infinite fall.
Yes. I don't know what would happen if we fell down there, and I don't really want to find out.
Not today, no. Well, last time. This time, with a lot less room to work with, I really spend a few more moments finding the best footing to sort of try and rock myself into momentum. Squat down a little bit low, trying to find that spring point. And I just look over above my shoulder. This time, no words spoken. A joint confirmation. And then we go. That final hop.
Roll me again with advantage.
And that'll be 18.
And an 18, especially with that technique of attempting to utilize as much stationary momentum as you possibly can to rock yourself forward. You almost go head first in this ascent towards the next platform, and you beautifully, gracefully, weightlessly glide over to the next, and you pick up a little bit of speed in this one that makes your feet sort of have to catch up with themselves as you plonk land on the next platform and to sort of take a small run to catch up with the momentum of that jump. But as you do so, you find yourself right there on this broader platform, and in front of you, like I say, this rushing, floating river in the sky that goes right across your vision, left to right. And just a short way over to your right is where you can see that undulating, inky, black matter that seems to, in some way, attach itself to the river itself. Roll me an investigation check, please, as you look upon this river.
That'll be 12.
With a 12, as you stand there, watching as this water flows gracefully on one side, powerfully, and on the other almost seems to be bogged and stagnated by this inky blackness, which from here you can just about very subtly, very softly hear whispering towards you as you stare at the river and the movement of this water. You could swear you see parts of the tide, parts of the current begin to shift, begin to glitch, almost. Very quickly, in a way that you're unsure whether this is a trick of the eye, some sort of movement in the light or the shadow, but it seems to be polarized between light and darkness, moving back and forth in certain parts.
Can you see that, Tonto?
The water.
Yeah. It's not just me, is it?
Yohm, I don't think this is water.
No, it's something else. It's almost like it is still Mamu in some form. For the mass to be agitating it in such a way, or it's, you know, I'm sure someone smart can put this in the better words, but whatever makes the bright stone bright. It's attracting that mass for whatever reason.
And you see, as Tonto looks to you as you say this and furrows his brow, looking over at the river. He looks up into the sky, at the swirling Mamu in the atmosphere around you, and over in the distance at some other clash that seems to be occurring between the corrupted Mamu and those who are trying to stop them. He sits himself down on the floor next to the river and closes his eyes.
Yohm, this isn't right. This isn't right at all. I feel this river. I don't know what I feel, but it is struggling. But I don't know, I thought that this black mass and the bright stone, they were different. But I don't think they are different anymore. They are the same. Does this make sense?
I'm trying to, but
I wish I could feel more, but I feel if I try to, I might. I don't want.
It's okay, you don't need to. Not yet.
Stands himself up, opens his eyes and comes back over towards you.
It's okay. Don't think about it too much. We've got options down here. Alright.
Okay.
We're going to take our time still. It's like it's almost like it's figuring out what it wants to be.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
You know, I'm looking around more, there's still no obvious my origin of this black matter, is it? It's just wherever it is, not like coming from a specific entry point or an obvious area where it's like a nucleus of sorts.
That's right. As you look upon it and, in fact, the river itself, the river doesn't seem to directly flow out of an actual crevice. It seems to just ephemerally appear out of the sky as it flows and disappear into another part of the sky on the other side. And yes, the black matter itself just is where it is.
Yeah, it makes me think. Like with me, not too long ago, when I was affected, when Godu was affected, there was a point of entry, so to speak. Here it just is. Well, that makes me just think it's something different. It's not invading this place. It's part of it.
How can something so dark be a part of someplace so beautiful?
Well, that's something us normal folk maybe know a little bit more about. There's a little bit of dark in most things, Tonto. Me included in that.
No, Yohm.
Oh yeah. Try not to let it out too often, but it's there. Maybe it's no different for all of you. But it does feel like an awful lot of bad. Something's causing it to go off balance. It's hard to say.
As you ponder this, staring down at the river, roll me a perception check.
17.
With a 17, you begin to notice, despite the very many varied mamu that traverse the rocks and fly through the sky in this landscape around you, there is a glowing blue figure some distance across the river that just piques your peripheral vision in its stillness, in its uprightness. And as you raise your eyes to look, something darts behind a boulder which you could swear was very man-like.
I think I found him. I think. Over there. That one. Right there. Someone else is watching us. Someone else is watching all this. And I think they're scared. How far away, if it's at all possible to guess, in this strange place?
Distance is indeed quite a loose and surreal concept in this sort of landscape, but you would say they are some 60, 80 feet away, quite far off.
And in relation to the flow of this river and the, I guess, situation of the large door I've seen, is it anywhere nearby to any of that? Is he seemingly off to a different side.
Sure. So, from your vantage point, where the river flows in front of you, you'd say that he was on a floating platform, like I say, some 60-80 feet, just beyond the river that flows in front of you. And just behind that rock is where this large engraved door is. And from where you saw this figure, not too far behind that is where you see this glowing orange light that appears of some sort of fire.
So a few things here. As I'm looking past the door then, this glowing light, does it flicker? Does it change? Do I really think it is a fire, or is it a warm glow?
Quite easily, I think you would discern as someone who is very familiar with campfires. This looks like a campfire.
Okay, that's good. And then a little bit closer now, the door. Is it a bit easier to discern some of these details?
Roll me a perception, please.
That's going to be a 7.
From this distance, you can just about make out some more detail, only as much as that it appears to be some kind of mural that is engraved here. They're not arbitrary, decorative swirls. They appear to be pictorial in nature. There are the forms of people engraved on this door. There seem to be many of them. They seem to, you might be able to say, be standing on a mountain. And that's as much detail as you can make.
But the triangle with the almost eyes in them, is that on this door, or is it adjacent to it?
It is directly in the centre of this door.
Yohm scratches his brain and that particular symbol for a moment, desperately trying to remember where he has seen or come across something similar before.
He will almost certainly remember it from not too long ago as an engraving that was just above the entrance to the mine, the strip mine. Otherwise, it is not a symbol he is particularly familiar with.
This seems to be... Unless I'm going crazy, I think there was a pathway intended between this place and ours. For whatever reason. No longer active, but I think back when we, people like me and Mamu like you got along a bit better. I think we built this. A pathway between both places.
You could be right, Yohm. The other Mamu, when I spoke to them up above, they said that the people, they would come down here all the time. Long ago, when people were more friendly with the Mamu.
So maybe it was one of them. And changed this. Caused the battle to begin. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know, no. Nonetheless, I've said it before, we should save this thinking for smaller people.
during this conversation, in the time you've spent pondering, that figure who quickly hid behind a boulder and made themselves disappear has since begun to very slightly peer back out around.
Well, we've got two options here as far as I can see. And we shout from here and hope he can hear us. Maybe we'll get some answers that way. Or, and you can probably tell this isn't my favourite idea, we can try and jump in this river and bring ourselves a little bit closer. But risk bringing whatever this is with us.
That does seem like a bit of a risk, Yohm.
I'm pretty sure there's a fire down there, but I don't know if I've got it in me to do it again.
Well, I could try and jump us down the path a little more, but I'm not sure how many more times I can change my form without getting really tired. And you're right, the river, it does run down and close to where we need to get to. Do you think there's a chance we'd be okay?
There's definitely a chance. You know, we'll be fine.
You think so?
No, yeah. I know so. Don't hate me for this. And I just pick Tonto up while he's still in his quite small, floaty form. I take a couple of steps. As I jump in towards this river, I throw Tonto nice and high above it. In the same direction towards, as it's flowing towards this man. And I just get ready just like before. Arms across my chest. A little bit of panic sinking in at the same time. But getting ready just to feet first and hope this current takes me. Knowing that I can survive this mass. No matter how uncomfortable it may be. Not sure if Tonto could.
As you take those few steps back, you launch forward. Tonto flies through the air in the direction towards that platform where you saw that figure, and you hurtle downwards towards this rushing, floating river. Just in that moment, what is the raw emotion of Yohm? Yohm, who has spent his life in the desert. Yohm, who has often turned away from water or anything that even resembled it. What has he had to break through in order to do this?
It's just a needs must. Simple as that. His own discomforts, fears, anxieties. And they're only allowed to be in his way. They can't burden anyone else. And they can't be the reason a friend of his could suffer. So, in this moment, it becomes a lot easier to disregard his own fears and feelings because there are much more important ones right in front of him. And making sure we do whatever is right for Tonto here to find these answers, to get him the help he needs, to make us all feel a bit whole again. The only way to do that is to swallow a little bit of pride, face some personal fears, and just get it done. Suffer the consequences afterwards. But no matter what, we've got to get help. It's a bigger problem than just Yohm.
Yohm takes a sharp breath in and plunges into that water. It rushes past him, and he flows faster than he expected, along with the current. As he moves, tumbles, becomes disoriented in a moment of chaos, and his mind is swept by this iridescent, ephemeral river. Not just his body, but his psyche is affected. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
That'll be 11, sorry.
As the current flows around his body and his mind, flashing images appear to him. He is suddenly greeted with visions of tribal people holding weapons. They're standing in this landscape here where he finds himself, battling each other, crafting sigils, crafting totems of stone, hopping from platform to platform. He sees these tribal people together in a circle. He feels camaraderie between them as he watches them sing, as he watches them congratulate each other, as he sees them together in commiseration. He sees images of shattering bridges. He sees the look of fear and dismay. These images flash into his mind as quickly as the current speeds past his body, as he is tumbled and whirled through this river, until suddenly a sharp grip is felt on his arm, and he is yanked from the river, tumbling onto the hard rocky floor of the platform. And as you open your eyes and shake off the anxiety, the adrenaline of that roller coaster, you look up into the face of a glowing blue Duergar, and he looks down into your eyes with a stern, steely gaze and says, "What in this realm are you doing here?"
Trying to save it. And I look around immediately for Tonto.
Tonto, you can see, stands safely on the platform behind this glowing blue Duergar, crown of orchids on his head.
I try and bring myself, so I'm just sat down at least and not laying on my back. I'm guessing you want Ludok.
You can see he squints his eyes, furrows his brow. Yes, that is me. You can understand me.
Yes. Clear as day.
The words I am saying that come from my mouth, you can understand me.
not only can I hear him as well as understand him.
This feels very much the way you might talk to Tonto, though you can see his mouth moving.
Yes, as clear as day.
I don't understand. Who are you?
Just breathe. I am not your enemy.
My friend, I haven't breathed for a long time.
Well, and I try to get up onto my feet. And when I do, his eyes, Mamu eyes as well.
They are.
I reach out a hand, just to shake.
He reaches out his.
My name is Yohm. This is Tonto.
He looks into your eyes deeply.
We come from Sopros.
You are Mamu.
No.
No. Your eyes. I see them.
That's a recent development.
Huh.
I do not know how long you've been down here, Ludok, but Sopros is hurting. A lot of us know it. And I think the Perceiver has asked me for help. And that is why we are here.
The Perceiver. Yes, I know of the plight of Sopros. I travel to the surface when I can. How strange. How much do you know of what is happening?
I think more than most, but barely anything at the same time. Me and my friend here are piecing it together slowly. It's been but a matter of weeks since we were pulled into this plot. And I think you must have been down here for quite some time.
I have called this place home for a long, long time. Young, yes. Come. I think we have much to discuss. And he offers you a hand to pull you to your feet.
Thank you. Please, lead the way.
Of course. Looks over to Tonto. And, you are with this merfolk man.
Yes. He is my friend. He saved me.
You vouch for him? He is not like some.
No. Yohm is here to help.
Tonto looks to your eyes, the beaming smile. Ludok looks to you. Very good. This way. And he begins to walk towards the sheer edge of the platform on which you stand. As he does, he raises his hand, and these floating platforms in between spaces begin to coalesce slightly, as to not create a completely perfectly straight walkway, but something that is much more easily traversed as they pull together to a bridge of sorts. And he walks straight over towards the campfire that he's lit on the platform further below.
Does it still feel hot? If I wave a hand by it.
The campfire, you mean? It seems to, oddly enough.
Still a murder for now.
You have no idea what pain I have taken to keep this fire lit here. In this place, it is very difficult.
No, I can imagine, yes. I've had my own runnings with whatever that is.
Yes. So I'm guessing you too have discovered that it is averse to fire.
It's seemingly the only thing that can stop it so far.
And what exactly is your understanding of what that is?
My understanding of it seems to change every day, but I believe it's some form of bright stone that has, for whatever reason, gone awry. And I believe whatever it is that makes this bright stone bright is the very same thing that makes the Mamu live. And whatever you may call that, well, that's just everything.
And what you say now? You know this from intuition. This is just what you feel.
Some of that lived experience and a very few conversations with some people who have spent a lot more time thinking about this than me, but mostly just my gut, yeah.
And I suppose you really are sent by the Perceiver. Yohm, how much do you know about the Colossus?
Very little.
You are not of the Light Guard?
No. Sooner nomads. Sooner desert.
Desert traveler. So in some way you must be in touch with the cosmic tides. You know of their workings.
Well, I wouldn't say I know of their workings, but
Perhaps not overtly, but in some intuitive, subconscious sense, you must, if you are to survive in the desert with Imamu.
well, the wind blows, water ripples. It's all one and the same, isn't it? And I guess I've always known something tethers it all together.
Too right, Yohm. Too right. You are correct, as far as I know, in that. What you see here, and he gestures over to the flowing river, and the bright stone. This is what gives life to the Mamu. In some senses, this is what conducts the music of our world. What you see here is the lifeblood of our Colossus. It flows in abundance, deep within the astral veins of the giant that sleeps deep below us, whose dreams create this world. Now, the reason it glows with its bright white light, its goodness, its hope, is that which was imbued to it by the Perceiver, yes? Before this, it was a giant of darkness. A giant of chaos. The Perceiver took it and made it the champion that it is. But for some reason, I do not know, it reverts. It turns to the darkness again, and with it, its dreams, the Mamu, and the world. Now I don't know if it is the ways of people, their corruption, that are corrupting the spirit of the giant itself, or whether it is the corruption of the giant that corrupts the people. Could not say. But something is causing a change in the giant. And it is struggling by a hair to stay light.
I've heard it's pleased. Through this one and some of the others.
It whispers, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it shouts.
Screams. Feels like everything all at once. I know it. It's the very first one. I knew it. I've been here before. You see, Ludok.
How do you mean?
Not exactly here, but here.
In this place?
Yes. Where I first met this one. I was swallowed by a Mamu as large as you'd ever see. And we were then in here.
You were swallowed by an Oyageist. The
Oyageist is here, is she not?
Well,
That's what he said.
That's what I believe.
Tonto shakes his head and looks between both you and Ludok. Well, Yohm, there are 3 Oyageist in this land. 1 mother spirit for each of the Mamu. Yes, this is the home of the Oyageist, and the reason this landscape is the way that it is because proximity to the Oyageist transforms our reality, brings it closer to the dream. If you have been to a place like this, you must have been close to an Oyageist.
Maybe. I didn't know it by name at the time, but... giant yellow thing. Piercing black eyes as big as me.
Black eyes?
Yes. When we first saw it, at least.
That is not good. That is not good at all.
I can't comment on its state now, but it had gone. Whenever and however we re-emerged back in Sopros.
Gone? What do you mean gone?
One moment it was swallowing me. The next we were marching through a crystal castle, trekking through jungles, jumping in rivers much like that one. I found Tonto and then we were back. Oyageist, nowhere to be seen.
You see Ludok look to you with a look of great confusion and concern, and then a hint of curiosity as As he turns to Tonto, looks back to you. I think you have experienced something very strange, Yohm. And if what has happened to you is as you described, I have much concern for the Oyageists.
I can't tell you how or why, but I can assure you that it is as I described. Not just their normal Mamu too. Myriad of them. Going rogue, attacking cities, causing mass destruction. Lives lost. The Guardians up in arms about it, as you can imagine.
Of course, they do not understand.
It's destroying my little bit of home. And well, I promised I'd help. So Ludo, please tell me, how can I help?
You see his head crane down the valley towards the large engraved door. If you are brought here by the Perceiver, as you say, perhaps you must try to speak with the Oyageist herself. Something I have not done since long ago.
What happened back then, Ludok? You were at Virgo once, weren't you?
It's good to know that I still look like a Dwarga, despite the amendments in my appearance. Yes, I was. I don't suppose you have heard tales of me above.
Very small bits and pieces. To be honest, I arrived in Teot by circumstance.
Ah, I see. Well, if you speak to the elders or the children of Teot, they will call me Ludok the Coward. Long ago, during the First Great War, I was a general. Not for the mountain tribe, I will let you know. I defected. I was very much wanting to protect the Mamu against their attacks. And that is why we stationed here in Teot, in front of the cave where we knew the Oyageist existed, so that we could protect it from the opposing forces. And, well, a day came where a great army of mountain and desert tribe were heading here to take the cave and to attempt to destroy the Mamu. And our forces here, they were small. We did everything we could to take a position here and build our fort with what little we had in enemy territory as well, but well, we didn't have much chance. But I was the general, and it was my job to lead my troops against this battle, though we were almost certainly destined to lose. And on the day when the troops were approaching, that is when the Oyageist spoke to me. I stood at the gates of Teot, watching the armies come over the hill, and a vision appeared to me. A vision of a blue eye. It said to me to come to the cave. Come down here, into the dreamscape, and speak with the Mother Spirit. was so profound. I had to do it. But it meant abandoning my troops. As far as everyone was concerned, I ran away, leaving everyone defenseless. But you see, when I met with the Oyageist, she gave me a choice. I could go back to the surface and try to fight best I could in almost certainly losing battle, or she would impart something to me. She would transform me into the dream. Give me abilities unlike anything I had had. Anything any mortal has. And so, I became the dream. Even though it separated me from people, I became a Mamu. But then I was able to usher in the spirits from the cave, and together, Mamu and people could fight off the opposing forces. But there was no going back. And my people, they did not recognize me, and I could not talk to them anymore. I'd lost my humanity, and honestly, ever since then I have slowly been losing what it is to be a Duergar. I'm barely holding on to this form. And I've been unable to speak with the Oyageist since. But I don't regret what I did. Even though I will forever be known as Udok the Coward.
Not to me. Thank you, Udok, for hundreds of seasons of sitting on guard and for waiting. Just so I could find my friend here. Thank you.
There was nothing else to be done, Yohm.
There's always something else to be done. And whether right or wrong, there's always something else. And you did what you knew was right.
Well, in some ways, Yohm, I think people like me, and I think people like you, can't do anything else.
No. But at least I got someone to be kind to me in the meantime. You shouldn't have to bear this alone.
Well, I'm glad to have met you, Yohm. Glad you're here. It finally gives me hope.
Good. All I've had is hope. Nowhere really to put it. But at least this is real.
I certainly hope so, Yohm. Doubt it sometimes. But if you are to help in any way, the Oyageist will tell you how.
He's reached out once before.
Yes?
When we crashed in these parts. Both I and Tonto heard her.
I see.
She wants to be found. I don't know why.
In that case, I am more than certain she wishes you to go through that door. But be warned, on the other side will be a grave challenge. You cannot simply walk into an audience with an Oyageist. Your strength will be tested first. This is the reason, unfortunately, I have not since been able to revisit her.
Come now, Ludo. I know you've lost yourself a little bit, but you are still a dwerger, are you not? I can still see the stone on your skin. Have a little bit more pride about your stubbornness, won't you? You're not dead yet.
Not dead yet, he says, as he raises his palm and turns his hand over to look at his glowing blue fingers. No, perhaps not.
In worst case, well, you won't be alone for very long. And, I just a little bit flex some of the tentacly-ness on one of my hands just to show some of the changes I'm going through too.
Yohm, you said you were not Mamu.
I'm not. Not yet.
You are something different altogether.
I think there's a cost to being disconnected. One I will happily pay. But, well, at least I've got a lot of practice being a fish out of water.
Ha. Yes. Glad you've kept your sense of humor.
We try. Oh God, some of the things. I just imagine if you'd seen me. I'm not sure if you'd laugh or be disappointed, really, but we keep moving forward.
Yes, Yohm. We keep moving forward.
And just so you know, actually, I don't think all the children entail and call you a coward. And I pull out that little disc and just pass it over to him. One of them gave me this. If it weren't for her kindness, well, we wouldn't be here.
I didn't know this still existed. I think this may be from plates of my very armor.
Please keep it. Don't forget what you've done. Remember, we only look back to remind ourselves which way we're going.
Thank you, Yohm. I will keep this. Hopefully it will keep me Dwerga for a little longer.
Well, if me and the little guy here do our part, hopefully you can have some more visitors soon.
I would like that.
And there's someone I would like you to meet. Someone else you could talk to. Though, you might regret me giving you that choice. And I think it will help him too.
If we fix this, Yohm, if we do right by the Colossus, the Oyageist, the Dream, the Giant, then I will happily speak to anyone you wish. Well, may need a translator.
Not with this fate. I wasn't alone when I was swallowed. The effects on him have been different, to say the least, but the effects are real. I couldn't say what he's up to at the moment, but I think he now too walks the path.
Incredible. All these hundreds of seasons I thought I was alone.
I'm sure there's more of us too. Every town has their madman. Somewhere out there, whether it's the frosty hills of Brustiama or the twisting roots of Moriwald, there are people out there doing the right thing. It's all tethered, isn't it? All of this.
Certainly is. The longer I live, the more I live to see it. That's why you're here, Yohm.
Yeah. Something like that. Certainly not a place to get any sweet roots, though. Forgive me, I've just not really been able to talk to anyone normally in some time.
Well, I assure you, Yohm, me either.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. I'm very glad to see you. I'm very glad you're here. I feel it marks the end of a journey for me.
And the next step of mine.
Come then. I don't think we have time to waste. And he moves sharply towards the sheer edge of this platform you stand upon, raising his arms once again to create that cobbled bridge that descends downwards towards the precipice of the carved door. And he himself walks along the bridge towards it.
I follow along and whisper to Tonto as we do. Well, that's another friend we've helped. Well done.
Yohm, do you remember in Sunalager when you said you weren't very good at making friends?
I've maybe tripled the total amount since meeting you, so...
We've got so many friends.
Yeah. Keep reminding me of that, yeah? Old habits.
I'll never stop.
We're going the right way. We're going the right way.
As you reach the bottom of this bridge, you can now quite clearly see the intricate detail of this door. Although for its interpretation, I'd like you to roll me an insight, please.
For an insight. That's a 14.
On a 14, you can pretty clearly discern that these pictorial images are trying to convey very many separate rituals being acted out by tribespeople. You can see groups standing in circles. You can see groups attempting to build things by piling rocks on top of each other. You can see what looks like tribespeople in some form of combat, perhaps, with each other. And these rituals all appear pictorially, sort of in a circle, in the center of which runs this river that is very detailed in its in the imagining of its movement. Even though it is a still carving, you can feel the movement of this water. Lulok looks to you with a very slight smile on his face. Steel yourself, Yohm. I do think this is where you are meant to be, but I do not think the Oyageist will go lightly on you. You are likely to face things that are made to test you.
I think there was a test of sorts last time too. And then I really remember it. But the probing sensation into what I am, I suppose. You expect more of the same. How do we open it?
You simply decide to walk through.
What do you think, Tonto? Any last thoughts?
Tonto stares pensively at the ground.
I think we've been through so many challenges already. We can almost certainly handle this.
Yeah, you're right. What's this compared to a crashing blimp or a infected wound? Frostbite on your webbed toes. You know, fisticuffs with wild mammoth. Is that into the list yet? Just realised. If only I could write. Make a bloody good story. Well, when we go through, will we be able to come back in the same way? Do you know?
Honestly, Yohm, it was so long ago that I met with the Oyageist. I don't remember how I left. I hope so. I can at least vouch that there is a way back. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
I guess this is it for now. There's so much more I'd like to ask, man.
Yohm, your answers are in there.
Yeah. Always have been. Oh. You know what it's like, you just... Are you ever much of a climber, Ludok?
I can't say especially. No, Yohm.
It's just always that. That last hold before the summit. No different than every other climb. But for some reason, that last bit, always the hardest. And I'm starting to think I just like being on the ladder.
Well, wise man once said to me, you only look back to see where you're going.
I'd like to take the credit for that one, but that was Graham's. Thank you, Ludok. Sincerely.
Thank you, Yohm.
And maybe for the third or fourth time in his entire life, Yohm is going to instigate a very hearty embrace.
Ludok.
Imagine his arms wrapping around the head of the slightly smaller being and just pulling him in, half to comfort Ludok, half very clearly to comfort himself.
Slightly taken aback. At first, Ludok sinks into this embrace, and you can feel him firmly wrap his arms around you as well. And as he sits there against your torso, you can hear him say, "Don't worry, Yohm. You can do this."
Alright then. Well, see you soon. And I turn. I face this door. And look up and down it. Just the sheer size and enormity is staggering when you're this close to. Run my hand just up and down it gently, feeling the very solid surface to the edge here. And then just barely even pushing it, more of a lean, with some minor reluctance, edging my weight ever so slightly further forward. Just waiting for it to give way and to be as ready as I can for whatever comes next.
And in that exact pinpoint moment of readiness, preparedness, when it all comes together, everything that has come to pass, accumulating in that moment of decisiveness as your weight pushes against the door. You hear the grinding of heavy stone as the door slowly swings open. Do you begin to walk through? You've been listening to The Kingdom Sleeps, with Tom Tysoe as Yohm and Andrew Bond as your humble story master. If you've been enjoying The Kingdom Sleeps and you'd like to help support the incredible artists who make this show possible, we'd really appreciate your support over on Patreon. For just $3 a month, you can get ad-free episodes and access to high-quality versions of all of the amazing art that's produced for the show. If you're unable to subscribe to the Patreon, but you'd still like to help, we'd really appreciate you following, subscribing, leaving a review, or commenting. It really helps us out. Thank you so much for listening, and good night.